Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I'm recording. Alright, you guys. We're back with Alan Ruiz on Deep Naked Thoughts. Alright, let's sing a new intro. This is my friend Alan. He's great. He's amazing. He is my therapist. Men, if you get to meet me, I will be talking. This is who.
She will tell me.
This is my informant. No. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call it semi-informant, semi-trustworthy confidant.
What else? Alright, so I feel like we have talked about a lot. So we've talked about our beginnings, our humble beginnings. We've talked about the government. We've talked about COVID. We've talked about relationships. Oh my god.
Got a little off topic, guys. You know, this is my first time. Val's just getting started. Like,
yeah.
I just hope
Val can't keep a thought. Just kidding.
But I hope you like the raw thoughts, because this is scripted.
The deep, naked, raw thoughts.
We're legitimately having a conversation, and you guys are just getting to witness it. You know?
So, what do you see yourself doing in the future? So, tell us, what are you doing right now? Like, what is your job? What are you doing? Like,
so my brother, 3 years back, decided to start a company. At first, we didn't know what type of company we were going to have, so we played with a lot of things. So at first we started like a renovation business for inside the home. That failed, and then we picked it up a second time, and then COVID hit, and then it failed again. And then we were kind of coming out of COVID, like 2021, I think. By then it was starting to get a little better, and we started a landscaping company. So I
remember that.
Yeah, and thankfully it picked up. It picked up very well. We were able to land contracts with apartment complexes here in town, and we kept them clean, we maintained them, we maintained everything. Like, we made sure everything was done good, like and well, and it's honestly been a blessing. Like, I've always worked a 9 to 5, 8 to 5, or whatever, and I can honestly tell you I was very depressed and very just there because I needed the money, but not there because I wanted to be there. And don't get me wrong, running a business with my brother is hard. You know, working with family is difficult, mainly because you can't get away from them. You're there with them all day, and then maybe you come home and have dinner together because you're exhausted by the end of it, and you still can't get away. So there's the pros and the cons, but mostly pros, because it's put us in a financial freedom that we've never had. It took us away from 9 to 5. Like, if we had family issues, if we wanted to take vacations, like, we had the ability to say, you know what, I'm just going to take these days off. And that is beautiful. Like, it's something that money can't buy. And it's freedom, like true freedom, because you're not stuck to somewhere. You don't have somebody saying, hey, you know what, they can't cover the schedule, or you know what, you already took all your sick days. Like, oh, I know you're maybe somebody's dying in your family, but you can only have 1 or 2 days off. Like, that's bullshit. Mm-hmm. Like, so the fact that this job has allowed us to do that, and pretty much like accumulate all the tools we need to even do different things from just landscaping. Like, we recently welded a fence, like a privacy fence, like for one of the farmland areas here. Like, we've done plumbing, we've done indoor remodeling still from time to time, like roofs. Like, slowly, like, we've become a jack of all trades, and it's because we took a chance. And don't get me wrong, the first 6 months were so hard. I didn't have money for 6 months. Like, we did not have anything. And I remember we got one job, and the first $300 I had gone to the gym, and I left my wallet in my car, and they broke into my car and took my $300. So the last bit of money that I had was taken. Like, and it is bitter. But if you stick through it, if you network well, and if you find people who can maybe, I always have a conversation with people. Like, that's what's opened doors for me, you know, and people too. Are like, oh, it's because you're likable. No, it's like, it's because I approach people, I have conversations. Yeah. Like, you don't have to be likable. Granted, don't have a resting bitch face, and you know, every other word is a curse word, but have intelligent conversations, ask people who they are, where they come from, because you never know. That person might be your ticket into somewhere else. And I'm not saying talk to people with the idea of how can they be my investment. No, talk to them purely so that way they think of you later on and they're like, you know what, I should call him or I should ask him. And I've had people ask me even about my job how to do it themselves, and I'll gladly teach them, because I'm not a communist, but I believe that I don't have to step on anybody to get where I want to be in life. If I can teach somebody something, you know, like Jesus said, like if you catch a fish and you give it to a man, you feed them for a day. But if you teach them how to catch a fish, you feed them for a lifetime.
Yeah, and I think also you are providing your services, because some people don't have time to go fishing, but they're like, I do it for you. I'm like, yeah, I do it for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously, please hire me.
Honestly, we're not the best.
I was like, just hire me.
You'd love to see my little face. Like, don't you want me working for you?
I sing on the job sometimes.
You're like, I'm a great singer. He is a great singer. We've done karaoke. We should karaoke. We should.
Yes, we need to. Actually, what's today?
It's Thursday.
The tone.
Yeah.
You know why
that's
not?
Great. Oh, fuck, that's good.
I do love to sing. I get that from my mother. My mother loves to sing.
Yeah.
Hopefully I could pick up guitar here soon. Yeah. I keep saying that, but I really gotta get
it. We're gonna get it done. I'm gonna push you to it. But no, I think one of the things you touched on in terms of entrepreneurship is I don't want to say desperately, but I want that sense of freedom and control and to be my own boss. And I feel like I'm getting that through this podcast, and it makes me feel really good about my own accomplishments, even though it's not where I wanted to be at yet. I know I'm headed towards that direction. And even the employment that I do have, like I said, I am choosing this for myself, but I don't mind it, because I know the leadership that I have. Like, I know I am helping build a company that is going to help children all over the nation. And I get to be a part of that growth. And I get to help somebody with their dream and their vision. And it's not mine, but I'm helping in that manner. And same thing with my coach. It's like I see his dream and I see his vision. And I know what he did for me and the person I've become because of him. And I want to do that for other kids. And so I'm going to continue to just work for purpose for like people that I believe in, and then for myself. But you're right, like there's just a sense of like fulfillment in, you know, putting out your own work, and like, you know, not just, I don't know, just going with like, you know, the cookie cutter kind of like get a good job. And it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like that's good. It's a good recipe for a lot of people. I just don't think it's for me. And you know, I'm struggling. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, like this is great and I love this, and it is hard, and I don't think people see the hard, because guys, I cry every day. I cry every day. But like I would choose that struggle because it's mine over just complacency. Yeah.
Complacency, that's a good word.
Yeah.
That describes a lot in this day and age, you know.
And I don't know, do you think maybe we just came up different? I don't know what your parents told you, but like for me, I think I grew up with a lot of like, you are like you did not come to this country just to be complacent. Like you are not here to be average. Like you are not here to like, and it's like, okay, well, I'm below average because I'm below average, but no, like, I don't know. That's just the mindset that I grew up with. Even my coach, he's like, you did not come to train just to be regular. Like, you be regular? Regular does nothing. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's the truth. It really is. Like, and you're right, that is the difference. Like, when we said privilege, like, we don't mean like because you had papers you were privileged. No, we meant privileged because your parents told you that you can take your time and be whatever. You know, like with us, it was not that our parents forced us or anything, but our parents always told us like time, how you dedicate it, and what you do with it, I was like, is everything. I was like, and like Val said, like I used to be illegal up until I was about 15, almost 16. So I couldn't make a mistake. I couldn't go to jail. I couldn't get in trouble with the police.
Be at the wrong party at the wrong time.
Like, and don't get me wrong, I did do some of those things as a kid. You know, I'm not perfect or anything like that. But I always, that taught me a limit. That taught me, hey, if I'm going to drink this, I can only have so much. Hey, if I'm going to do this, I can only have so much. Or hey, like if I'm gonna do this, I need to back up to this. I need to have somebody who can come get me, somebody who I trust. I need to be around the people that I trust. Like they taught me to be aware of my surroundings, and people aren't aware of their surroundings anymore.
Yeah.
And that's why there's just so much things going on, you know, like, and people get caught up in the wrong.
I would say lack of, like, what would you say? Jocko Willink uses this. It's like accountability, lack of accountability. It's like blaming other people for the outcome. It's like, well, it wasn't my fault. It's like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of lack of accountability in our society right now.
You know, and with reason, of course. Obviously, certain things you can't account for. Right? Mm-hmm. You know, like if somebody crashes into you because they were drunk, obviously it's that other person's fault. Yeah. But whether you come out of that persevering or feeling sorry for yourself, depending on your situation, of course, because some people either don't live through it or maybe just end up in a position where they can't even move. Like that's kind of understandable, you know. But at the same time, it's what you make out of it, and with suffering brings grace. Mm-hmm. Like you need to understand that suffering brings grace, and if you suffer with somebody, that'll bring you closer to somebody. And people aren't willing to suffer with other people anymore. I don't like Conor McGregor too much. You know, like I think he's very arrogant sometimes. He is very arrogant, but he says something beautiful. He's like, I don't sit at a table with people that I'm not willing to starve with, and I thought that was beautiful. I thought that's a great quote because like you should surround yourself with the people that are willing to starve with you, because if they're willing to just leave when it gets hard, then they're not your people. Yeah. Not at all. Yeah. So I think that's beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people who say a wonderful line or a wonderful quote, but don't always have maybe the best intentions or made mistakes, whatever. But if you focus on their mistakes, you're never going to take the beautiful thing and you're never going to grow. You're just going to die. Like
and that's become my mantra, is like keep growing. I don't think there will ever be a point in my life where I'm like, no, I know it all. Like I know enough. I've this is it. Like I'm solid. Like I'm always going to be constantly improving, whether it's through martial arts or whether it's through knowledge or psychology or entrepreneurship or even like the people I know. Every time I meet somebody, I see it as an opportunity of growth. And so that's kind of like what I want to get out of my life. Like I'm on a journey of continuous growth. Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
So tell us about your job in the military. What do you do?
I'm a combat medic.
Ladies. Combat medic. Combat medic.
Combat
Say
medic.
That sexy. Come on.
Hold on, let me flop the hair real quick. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I need to cut it. Sorry, that's why I have a hat.
That's actually, I feel like that's cool, but that's scary. Like, I get to be a medic in combat.
Don't worry, I am consistently terrified. I haven't had to do my job, really, like in real life, but I know the day that I will, like my heart's gonna be almost coming out of my own chest. I'm gonna be like, I need a medic for me. After I work on this, if somebody calls somebody for me, I'm about to pass out. It's a very scary job. There's just a lot of knowledge and understanding, and honestly our intervention statistically only works 66.6% of the time.
Oh wow, that's terrible.
So we have a 33.3% chance of the person dying. But because injuries are not perfect, things don't go like in the movies, you know, where they're just like, oh, I can still walk it off and fight. Like, no, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Like, did it hit the bone? Did it pierce certain arteries, certain veins? Just everything. Like, you have to think about, like, it's almost like working on a car, except if your car dies, you're like, well, I can always work on it tomorrow. If somebody dies on you, that's your responsibility.
That's like, sorry, bro.
Yeah, that's
oh my God.
And they teach us. They teach us to evaluate somebody and say, you know what, I need to save this person because that's the person I can save, and this person's gonna die. Like, I need to leave them alone and not waste like material and time because I need to save the person that I can. So like, it's something that if it really happens, I feel like for me it'd be hard to leave that there. Like, I feel like that's something I could take with me, and I'd blame myself because to this day, even things that that I did and didn't do as a child, I still blame myself for them, and that's something I struggle with daily. Like, letting go of things that I should have done and I couldn't have done, and all that. I still struggle with it now. So it scares me to think, like, I know I can maybe really help someone if I needed to in combat, but at the same time, I don't know if I'll be able to leave that there. If that makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
And that's a scary thought for me.
Wow.
but I want to help people. Like, the reason I became a medic is because, I don't know if you guys seen the movie Hacksaw Ridge, I'm sure everybody has. But I thought that was beautiful. Like, I don't want to take life. I want to save it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to shoot anybody. I didn't join the military to kill anybody. If I did that, then I would be dishonoring my mother. I just want to be at service of people and put a little bit of the world back together where it's being destroyed. You know, like that.
Yeah.
I don't have it in me to harm another human being. Maybe just say a few curse words here and there if you piss me off enough.
Yeah.
But it's not in my nature. You know, my mom didn't teach us to be like that. She taught us to be at the service of others, even if they don't deserve it.
Wow, so that is beautiful. That is very powerful. I am gonna insert some comedic relief. I'm just like, oh fuck. He's our family medic. We're like, medic? Where's the medic? Medic? But
back in the day when I used to wrap her brother's leg after his surgery.
Yeah, I'd be like, medic? Oh, I know. We call her, be like, where's Alan? Oh my gosh. No, that's how deep the friendship is.
It's my best bro.
But damn, no, that was beautiful. Wow. That was absolutely beautiful. So I wanted to join the military. I actually didn't. I think out of everybody, I think everybody thought I was going to join the military, and then it didn't happen for me.
I was one of them.
and that's okay, but I think we all can do our part in our society. And I think my part is I'm really good at teaching, and I know what I like to teach. And so right now, like, my focus is kids and children, and so that's where I'm doing my part. And I just hope to be a good role model for kids, and especially in the female, like, martial arts industry. I think that and I actually, in recent times, I've seen an increase in female martial artists, and that makes me very happy, because when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of female martial artists to look up to. And so it's kind of really cool. That's another reason why I wanted you on the podcast, is because I am very inspired by you, and like, just like the things you do, like in the military, and then outside the military, you know, entrepreneurship, and then the medical field. And just to segue off of that, like, I always say, we are not our accomplishments. Those are things that we've accomplished, and I think, and I know you've accomplished a lot. But what do you want to do in the future? Like, where do you see yourself? Maybe in a year, 2 years, 3, 5. Like, do you have an idea of what you want to do? Like, what does that look like?
I want to have a family.
Okay.
And I have already pre-started a family, but that part of my life destroyed me a lot. And it all happened because my mom was also dying in the process. Like,
I was a kid.
I was a kid. Like, I was this kid, and that's not an excuse, you know, at all. But I want to start a family. I want to get some land and maybe retire farming for myself. Like,
okay.
Like that's kind of where I'm headed, because I've understood that by the sweat of my back and the pain of my body from working physical labor, I have had the most enjoyment, the most fulfillment, and at the same time, like, I test myself. And having that opportunity to test myself every time, I love it. Like, I don't think I want to go back to just being somewhere sitting and doing what other people are telling me to do. No, I want to build a house. I want to build a barn. I want to build a stable. I want to learn how to take care of animals. I want to learn how to grow food. Like, I want to learn how to be self-sufficient. Mm-hmm. And that drives me, you know. Granted, it's hard with, you know, economy and everything, scheduling and everything, and people don't know the nitty and gritty when it comes to businesses. But once you start making more than the government thinks you should be making, you enter another tax bracket and another tax bracket, and so on and so on. So they take and they take and they take and they take, and they say you owe and you owe and you owe, but in reality, you're not even getting 15% of that money for yourself or your family. It's always reinvested or put into jobs and everything like that. So I'm trying to find a way to truly be free, and that's my goal in 3 to 5 years, is to truly free myself from everyone else but myself. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't want, and also I want to have that so I can bring my family, which Val, you know, my mom,
me
like
too.
my dad, like
Oh my
like
gosh.
everybody who has taken care of me, I want to be able to offer something later should I need to take care of them. Like that is the goal, is to eventually give it all back.
Yeah.
And I will be the happiest man and I will die the happiest man in the world as long as I know I gave back all the kindness that was given to me.
Yeah.
Like that's the goal.
Yeah. Wow. That was beautiful. Whew. Wow.
Sorry.
No, that was
Intense.
amazing. And I will try and do the best that I can to also help you achieve your dream. Because you're sitting down with me, helping me reach my goals and my dreams. But I also want to do the same for you. And so like I also want you to talk about, you know, your company, and I also want you to talk about like what you're doing and how you're helping and giving back. And that is also my dream. It's like I work really freaking hard. I don't want to cry because I already cried today. Like I don't want to like. It's not crying round two. But like at the end of the day, I want people to see like this is not for me. Like this is for my community. These are for the kids that I service. Like this is for my parents. Like I want to retire my parents. Like they work so freaking hard. I just want them to like stop working. I just want them to go and take a vacation. And like this is for my future family. Like I want my kids to see me and not just be like, oh, like follow your dreams. And then whether they ask me like, well, did you follow yours? I'd be like, no, I didn't. Be like, no, I did. Like I really fucking did. And like you have to do it too, kid. And so like that's what I want. Like I'm gonna put your money where your mouth is. Like I'm gonna fucking do it. And I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I want my kids to be proud of me, and I want to be proud of me, and I just want to give back. Oh, I'm crying.
It's okay. It's emotional time, guys.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
it's
When you
hard
put us
20s.
together, we get a little hard. But I completely agree. I just want to be able to look, like you said, look your kids in the face and truly tell them,
I did it.
I did it, and you can too. But not with the sense of like, oh yeah, that's what the world told me. No, it's because I did it. Like, and so can you. Like,
Yeah.
nothing can stop you. Like,
Yeah.
look where I came from, and look where you're at. The sky's the limit. Like, and I want there to be no doubt in their abilities.
Mhm.
And if they do doubt, then I'll be there and tell them, you might doubt yourself now, but keep going, because who you are now is not who you are later.
Yeah.
And it's like you're always gonna keep growing. And it's like,
Yeah.
but you have to put in the work. You have
Yeah.
to put in the time, and you have to want to keep growing. And I feel like that's the problem these day and age. People don't want to grow anymore. People just are like, that's the standard. Let's meet the standard and let's stay in the standard. Oh, break away from it. Be creative. Ask
Yeah.
questions. Draw something. Make
Draw
something
something.
beautiful. Invent something. Do something that betters your life every single day.
Yeah.
Whether it's words, whether it's exercise, whether it's something that you build that maybe, helps you make eggs or something. I don't know. Whatever you want to do it. Do it. Don't be afraid. If the people around you are putting you down, and sometimes they will, it's your obligation, not your obligation, but it's your obligation to yourself to prove yourself right, not them. Who cares about what they say?
Yeah.
Prove yourself right, and then you will have people see it and follow right after.
Yeah.
That's it. You stop yourself, just like everybody else does.
Yeah.
You really are your worst enemy.
Yeah, and I think just to kind of wrap this up as a whole, and you can tell me what you think, but I think the biggest thing I learned growing up, daughter of immigrants, was just kind of like, fuck what anybody else says. And like sometimes I had to learn English and my English was bad, and I'm like, fuck what anybody else says. Or like sometimes I didn't have the nicest clothes or I had hand-me-downs, so like fuck what anybody else says. Like at the end of the day, like, just like fuck what anybody else says. Like you just gotta live for you and just try to leave the world better. And I don't know, I think there's no excuse. Like anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Like I'm gonna be like, if he can do it, you can do it. But no,
especially
like,
if I can do it, you can do it.
But No, like you just gotta believe in yourself and surround with people that believe in you and that won't allow you to give up. I think so. That is the thing that I value now the most too, is like tough love, like of like, what are you doing? Like, you're better than this. Like, what's going on? Like, hello, bird.
Sorry.
He's like, I'm
my
digging
bird.
that conversation. But no, I think those are my closing thoughts, is you can do it and believe in yourself. This came from one of my friends, and he gave me this advice, and he's helping me out with a podcast. And I asked him, like, how did you decide you wanted to help me with this? He's like, because you believe in yourself. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I will only work with people that believe in themselves. And he's like, because if you don't believe in it, it's not going to happen.
Really so.
So you gotta believe in yourself.
Really do. Take a shot.
Take your shot.
Invest in yourself.
Yes.
Honestly, because you are your greatest moneymaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that's what you care about.
Yeah.
Or invest in your spirit.
Yeah.
Happiness.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy world.
So that it, we're gonna call it a wrap? Yeah, okay, high five, give me a high five. Alright, you guys, this has been Deep Naked Thoughts with Val and Ellen. And I will attach his social